Namaskaram. Hi students. In the last class, we discussed about the meaning of Provident Fund and various types of Provident Fund. Now, we are discussing the tax treatment of different types of Provident Fund. And we know the operation of Provident Fund. At the time of payment of salary to employee, the employer deducts a certain percentage of salary, normally 12% of salary, as employees contributed to Provident Fund. And the employer adds another 12% of salary to this. It is the employee's contribution. Employer തൊഴിലാളിക്ക് ശമ്പളം കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ ശമ്പളത്തിൽ നിന്നും സാധാരണ രീതിയിൽ 12% പ്രൊവിഡന്റ് ഫണ്ട് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷൻ കുറച്ച് ബാക്കി തുകയാണ് എംപ്ലോയിക്ക് ശമ്പളമായിട്ട് കൊടുക്കുക. ആ കുറയ്ക്കുന്ന 12% അതാണ് തൊഴിലാളി വിഹിതം. അതിന് കൂടെ എംപ്ലോയറുടെ പങ്കായിട്ടുള്ള മറ്റൊരു 12% കൂട്ടുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് എംപ്ലോയീസ് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷൻ and employees contribution constitute the total contribution. This total contribution is credited to the Provident Fund account to earn interest. And this interest also credited on this Provident Fund account. At the time of retirement or premature death, which happens earlier, the employee or family members receive a lump sum amount. It is the function of Provident Fund. First, employee's contribution deducted from employee salary by the employer. Employer adds another 12% employee's contribution. Both these contributions are credited to Provident Fund account. It is known as contribution. It is the interest accumulated on it, and at the time of retirement or death, employee or family members receive a lump sum amount. This employee's contribution is a saving, is an investment, because it is an appropriation of profit. He appropriates 12% salary to Provident Fund for future. Therefore, employee's contribution is a saving. And in addition to normal salary, employer paid on behalf of employee 12% salary to PF. In addition to normal salary and other emoluments, the employer paid 12% salary on behalf of employee. Therefore, it is an income. It is an income. And the interest, it is an income. And we have to discuss the tax treatment of these items separately. First, employee's contribution. I had stated employee's contribution is a saving, it's an investment. For the computation of total income, taxable income of a person from gross total income, under Income Tax Act, there are so many deductions. And the first deduction is Section 80C. In respect to saving. Under Income Tax Act, there is a deduction under Section 80C in respect to saving. And our question is that whether the employee's contribution is eligible for deduction under Section 80C or not. In the case of statutory Provident Fund, employee's contribution is eligible for deduction under Section 80C up to rupees 1,50,000. This ceiling limit of 1,50,000 is under 80C. Under statutory Provident Fund, employee's contribution is eligible for deduction under Section 80C up to rupees 1,50,000. In the recognized Provident Fund, also eligible for deduction under Section 80C up to rupees 1,50,000. In the case of unrecognized Provident Fund, it is not eligible. See, it is not eligible for deduction under section 80C. In the case of public provident fund, it is eligible for deduction under section 80C. In the case of statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund and public provident fund, employees' contribution is eligible for deduction under section 80C, and in the case of unrecognized provident fund, it is not eligible. Second question, employees' contribution. It is an income. At this point, you have to remember that at any time, employees' contribution does not exceed employees' contribution. Employees' contribution should not exceed employees' contribution, and it is an income to the employee. Question, whether it is taxable or not. Whether this income is taxable or not. In the case of statutory provident fund, it is not taxable. It is fully exempted. It is fully exempted. In the case of recognized provident fund, it is exempt up to 12% salary. And in excess of 12% salary, it is taxable. It is a partially exempted income. Employees' contribution is exempted up to 12% salary, and in excess of 12% salary, it is taxable. That excess amount is taxable. Here, salary means basic salary plus DA forming part salary plus commission on turnover. Just same that of salary of HRA. In case of unrecognized provident fund, employees' contribution is fully taxable, not exempted, as salary income when the lump sum amount is received. At the time of retirement or death, the employee receives a lump sum amount from the provident fund, and employee's contribution on such lump sum amount is taxable in the case of employee. That is the tax treatment of employee's contribution in the case of unrecognized provident fund. And in the case of public provident fund, there is no employer. There is no employee's contribution. Next, the taxability of interest. We know interest is an income. Question is that whether it is taxable or not. In the case of statutory provident fund, the interest is fully exempted, not taxable. In the case of recognized provident fund, it is exempt up to 9.5% per annum. Excess of 9.5% per annum is taxable. It is a partially exempted income. This is a recognized provident fund. The interest on recognized provident fund is exempt up to 9.5% per annum. Excess of 9.5% is taxable. In this unrecognized provident fund, the interest is divided into two categories: interest on employees' contribution and interest on employees' company's contribution. Interest is divided into two categories in the case of unrecognized provident fund. Interest on employees' contribution is taxable in every year under the head of income from other source, not income from salary. Interest on employees' contribution is taxable in every year as income from other sources. And interest on employees' contribution, interest on company's contribution is also taxable, but not in every year, but when the lump sum amount is received under the head income from salary. Interest on employees' contribution is taxable under income from salary when lump sum amount is received. Under the public provident fund, interest is fully exempted. The next is the tax treatment of lump sum amount received. Question, whether it is taxable or not. In the case of statutory provident fund, the lump sum amount received is fully exempted. Section 10(11), not taxable. In this recognized provident fund, it is also exempted. Section 10(12). But there is one condition. The employee must fulfill minimum 5 years service. To get exemption in the case of recognized provident fund, the employee must have minimum 5 years service. And due to ill health of employee or discontinuance of employee's business or due to any reason, beyond the employee's contract, beyond employee's capacity, he could not complete 5 years. In this case also, he is eligible for exemption. Otherwise, he must have completed 5 years service for getting exemption under section 10(12) in the case of recognized provident fund. And in the case of unrecognized provident fund, employees' contribution and interest on employees' contribution is taxable. At the time of lump sum received, in the case of unrecognized provident fund, employees' contribution and interest on employees' contribution is taxable as salary income under unrecognized provident fund. In the case of public provident fund, it is not taxable. Now we discussed the tax treatment of employees' contribution, interest and lump sum received. There are two more terms relating to provident fund. First, annual accretion. Annual accretion relates to recognized provident fund. It is the taxable part of employees' contribution and interest on a recognized provident fund. We know employees' contribution in excess of 12% salary and interest in excess of 9.5% per annum is taxable as salary income. That taxable part is known as annual accretion. Therefore, annual accretion is equal to excess of 12% salary in respect of employees' contribution and excess of 9.5% per annum in respect of interest. The next term is transferred balance. It is the balance at the credit of unrecognized provident fund when it gets recognition from Commission of Income Tax. If the unrecognized provident fund gets recognition from Commission of Income Tax, it becomes recognized provident fund. And the balance at that time at the credit of unrecognized provident fund is known as transferred balance. Employees' contribution and interest on employees' contribution on transferred balance is taxable as salary income in the previous year in which it gets recognition. These are the various points regarding tax treatment of provident funds. So thank you. Bye till the next class.